Hey everybody, Lucas here for today's TPS Weekly News Roundup. I hope you're having a great week. It's been a regulatory week here at TPS, so that's where I'm going to begin. Late last week, the EPA announced its Freedom to Fix guidance, which will require OEMs to make software technology and tooling available to fleets and independent service shops to perform DEF-related repairs. This is not a full right to repair. It does not throw out the MOU of 2015. It does not legalize the Repair Act. It just says manufacturers have to make the technology and tools available for dealers or for independent shops, for fleets, for anybody that wants to do DEF repairs. They have to make it available so they can do that. That is as a result of a memorandum issued by President Trump last week. It is a step forward for the aftermarket. It is a step forward for the independent service channel, but it is not a complete right to repair. Additionally, the EPA changed rules around DEF engine derates earlier this year, and as a result, manufacturers are sort of changing their software parameters. Daimler announced changes to their software in June. Cummins and PACCAR announced changes to their software just this week, so some changes coming to engine programming and engine software here in the coming weeks. Also, the EPA NOx rule, the updated final rule, is expected to come out anytime. I'm sure, as you know, the EPA final rule, the EPA NOx rule was initially written in 2022 and finalized in 2024 by the Biden administration. The EPA announcing last year that they intended to update and make some major changes to the rule. The changes are really warranty, and they're creating some additional flexibility for manufacturers to meet the regulation. They are not changing the actual rules as it relates to NOx emissions. The regulation is still going to come out in January. The NOx milligrams of NOx that are allowed under the rule is the same. But there are going to be some changes to the warranties required from OEMs. OEMs are going to get some extended testing deadlines, boost some compliance credits opportunities. It's going to make it a little bit easier for the OEMs to meet the requirements, but it is going to move forward as expected in January, and we should have a final rule anytime. Also, some other stuff happening this week. We got some Class 8 truck order news for June, late last Friday. That story went out Monday. A huge June for us. Last year, when we were writing the story in June, June 2025 was the worst month, the worst June we'd had since 2009. Complete turnaround this year. This was the second best June on record, according to FTR. Both FTR and ACT Research saying we were over 30,000 units in June. That's over 230% up year over year. Also, build slots are almost entirely full. Both FTR and ACT expecting their build slots, if they're not full now, will probably be full in January. So great news in the truck order space. And then a couple other things I want to touch on before we finish. Our awards programs, I know I touch on them every week. We are going to have finalists announced next week. Successful Dealer Award finalists will be announced early next week. Trailblazer Award finalists, Distributor of the Year Award finalists also will be announced in the coming weeks. Distributor of the Year might be next week, I'm not sure. Trailblazer probably the week after, but we will be announcing the finalists for all those awards here in the coming weeks. We're really excited. We've got some great dealers, some great distributors in the programs. Some other news this week, make sure you go to the website. We had some other stuff from some manufacturers. We had some other news. ASE got a huge grant to make tech apprenticeship programs. So check that story out. Some really great news this week. Have a great weekend. We will see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.